Wow, it's time. It's time for the closed beta test. So, this is Sakuya Izayoi gives you advice and daps. Plus, Nitori Kadoshiro offers you advice in exchange for cucumbers and eats the cucumbers. These, it turns out that I don't know what the deal is, but people seem to be very interested in CBT after I talked about it during that most recent lecture. So I decided to give it a try. And since there's a whole genre, like, for whatever reason, sole subgenre of touhou-based therapy games, I'm gonna be going through a couple of them tonight. So they seem like they're all pretty short. Give it a look. Maybe talk about some cognitive behavioral therapy, what these games get right, what games get wrong. I have seen these around and never knew quite what to make of them, if they were just like deep irony, but I've been told that this is the one where like this is a pretty sincere game. So let's give it a look. And I'm a little bit frazzled and a little bit tired. I had a really rough day. So if I trail off or don't finish my sentences, please forgive me. I'm doing my best out here. Let's see. I'm also messing with some audio stuff in the background, so please let me know if things don't sound right. Let's see. And with that, let's actually switch over the audio, because that's a thing I can do easily now, which is ridiculous. And let's see. So it gives you advice and dabs. All right, let's get into it. Is there actually music in this game? Which one do I want to play? I'm going to play Sakuya Izayoi gives me advice and dabs. Oh, peaceful ocean sounds. Oh, hell yeah. That's how you know you're in for a real treat, when you get the peaceful ocean sounds to kick in. Let's see, it looks like... Are y'all hearing it? I just want to make sure that this is actually working out, because I switched plugins to a thing that should help me work around and not have to mess with virtual audio cables quite as much, but I want to make sure that it's actually working first. You're not getting it, Negatory? Ah. Bummer! What's good, everyone, though? Alright, let's see. Let's see. Let's see, like, one quick change. Oh no, I crashed OBS. That's how you know you're doing well. Haha! Excellent. I like the part where I went to go change the audio source around and it broke my stream. That's good. That's a great way to start things. Oh, well. Rip. Let's see. I'm gonna try to delete and remake this because y'all need to hear soothing ocean sounds. Yeah, that's a big OBS. I went to go make I had to go remake the audio source, and it broke everything. Can you believe it? It just killed it killed my whole stream. All right. How about that? Is it actually... I wonder if it's just so quiet that it's not picking it up. You know what? We're just gonna do something else. You had to sub to yourself for that? Oh. I mean... God, subbing to yourself sounds terrible. You're giving yourself, for the price of $5, you give Bezos $250 and yourself nothing. How about that? Can you believe it? I can't believe this is really not working. Nothing is working here. I've got all my audio set up. Is it really just that quiet? Could that be possible? Okay, you finally hear it? Alright. Well, as long as something is coming through. Yeah, alright. Sakuya dabbed and massacred my stream. Alright, it looks like it's finally working. Finally, after all that work, we have soothing ocean sounds. Good, I need them, because now I'm stressed out. Let me take a... let's see. I am Sakuya Izayoi. You're in a sort of mysterious place. Not quite here, but not quite there. I had some friends of mine come up with this place for you. Ooh, this is good. This is nice. This is how Death Stranding works. This is your personal area. Fuck yes. You can come back here anytime you want, no matter what. I'll also be your friend and guide you through all this. With that said, what's on your mind? First, start off by telling me how you feel. I feel lost, personally. Why do I feel lost? Let's see. I don't know what to do with my life. It's okay to be uncertain about your future. There's no shame in not knowing. It's a common problem. Humans long for meaning and purpose with our lives. It's part of why I love serving as the head maid in my mansion. It's fulfilling work. Regardless, you may benefit from reflecting and asking yourself some questions. What do you like doing? What don't you like doing? What kind of person are you, and what are you good at? Simple questions like that can go a long way. And some dreams are more realistic than others. However, you should always set realistic, measurable goals for yourself. It never hurts to have a backup plan. Some people say I'd be a great vampire hunter if I had decided not to be a maid, and I think that's a fair plan. You're also free to try different things in your life. If you want, you can try some new activities and see what you like or do not like about it. Do some reflecting. Don't put your eggs in one basket. Take your time and try new things. Dang, that was actually like incredibly practical advice. I'm not sure what I was expecting. All right, well, let's see. Do I feel any better? Not really. There's one thing left to try out. A spell teach. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I feel great. Now I'm finally healed. I've been healed by the power of Sakuya dabbing. 2 better days and a bright future. That's how straightforward this is. So you just go through and the game tries to actually go through a little bit of cognitive behavioral therapy. Huh. How about that? All right, let's see. I feel sad. Sakuya, what do you have to say to me if I feel sad? I don't know, honestly. Let's be real. It's perfectly okay to feel sad, even if it's for a reason you have yet to know. More often than not, it will go away on its own. Embrace the sadness. Let it flow through your mind like the waves of this beach. Ah, some mindfulness. The important thing is to move forward by doing what you can to make yourself happy. Do what you find solace in, be it music, playing games, writing, whatever works for you. There are certain conditions you may or may not notice that can also make you sad, such as your diet and commonly the weather. That one's actually excessively real. I spent I was having a real rough time there for a bit, and then I was like talking to my partner, and I'm like, Julie, I feel terrible. And she's like, well, because of Omicron, you've been stuck inside for like the past 6 weeks. I was like, damn, you're right. I have been inside for basically living in our house for the last 6 weeks. And also it's miserable and freezing outside. And finally, there's nothing wrong in seeking help. If you can, it may be a good idea to make an appointment with your family doctor, who might be able to treat you or refer you according to the problem. You can always get a second opinion if you feel like you need to, and take all the time you need to get over the sad feeling. Yeah, it's brick outside, dog. Like, look, it's so cold today that even my dog doesn't want to walk. We went out, she got real excited looking at some construction equipment, and then turned around and walked me back home in like 10 minutes. And I was like, usually she takes me out for like the better part of an hour. All right, what happens if I tell her yes? All right, is she gonna dab? Okay, wait, is this it? Yeah! Hit the dab. This is actually like a surprisingly charming game. I really didn't know what to expect from Sakuya Izayoi gives you advice and dabs, but it's Literally in the title. Sakuya Izayoi gives you advice and dabs. Alright, I'm gonna do a couple more routes of this and then get into the DLC. And then we get to play the CBT game, and then we have Save Me Sakuya-san. And I also have, I think, another game from the same developer that's not actually Touhou. It's called Dab on Darkness. So basically tonight we're playing therapy games. We're gonna get comfy, listen to some ocean sounds, and talk about closed beta testing. Let's see, skipping this. I'm not feeling anxious. The thing is, like, all of these are real right now. So what makes you feel anxious? I feel anxiety over something specific. I actually really like the way this is written. Like, it's very general. And so when we talked about this in the lecture on Sunday, we were talking about the importance of unconditional positive regard. And this is like, I'm anxious. I don't know why I'm anxious. And it's like, yeah, well, you know what? I don't know. It's like, even if it's something specific or general, in this case I say like, hey, there's something that's specifically making me anxious. And I was like, you know what? It doesn't really matter what it is. You don't have to tell me, but it sucks. You may feel like your anxiety could use professional help, or you may feel you can need some guidance on relieving your anxiety. If it's severe enough to the point where it heavily impacts your day, such as experiencing panic attacks or being unable to do normal tasks, I strongly recommend you seek professional help. When in doubt, if you can, see a doctor or counselor about your concerns with them. I'm no doctor or substitute for treatment, however, I can at least give you some tips on how to relieve anxiety. Thank you, Sakuya-san. Would you like to hear that? Yes, I would. Talk about your anxiety with a friend or a family member you trust. It may provide you comfort and relief. Exercise can improve to help relieve anxiety, this is true, and depression, and in general help you boost your mood. The key is to find a program that suits you and consistently or more often working at it. You can put your mind at ease with activities that are soothing to you, such as listening to music, art, writing, or entertainment, or in my case, cleaning. Look, cleaning rules, actually. Look, right before streaming, dishes piled up in the sink, hit that with a little bit of Dawn, a little bit of scrub, toss it in the washer. I feel like I cleaned my mind. Instantly the highlight of my day. Wow, I cleaned a thing. It's important to get quality sleep. This is true. Better sleep is essentially a better body and mind. Kind of. Having a balanced diet helps. This is just like a laundry list of things that are connected to mood. You can try breathing or meditation exercises, like physical. Let's see, pick a routine, have a go at it. A simple but effective breathing exercise you can do is the box. Oh, box breathing is sick. Yes, I want to do box breathing. All right, let's do box breathing together. All right, simply follow what I say and click the next line when you're done. Dang, I already feel better. Congratulations, it's a full cycle. Repeat this as many times as you want or until you notice an improvement in your mood. I'm, like, this is really just like a laundry list of practical advice, but just bundled up into a goofy game about dabbing. All right. You know what? I do feel better. Box breathing rules. Even if I only made you a little bit better, but I do have one last thing. Spell card sign, dangerous action behavior. Okay, this is actually really clever. I'm having fun with this. What's the bonus scene? Oh no. I know what I must do. Now I'm really fired up. Spell card sign, dangerous action behavior. Eternal, meek, addition. Wait, B-A-B, eternal, yeah. Whoa. Wow, that's powerful. Can't believe it. Wait, what's Wriggle Wriggle? Wait, is this gonna be Wriggle showing up? Oh, it is! A guest character! Oh, awesome. Are you here to offer the humans some words of like, this is such a good game. Alright, let's see. I can control and communicate with all kinds of insects. I'm not a bug though. Ants, spiders, centipedes, fireflies, you name it. But as you can probably tell by now, I'm not exactly the most well-liked person. It's like simply by being who I am, I freak people out and I even disgust them. Relatable. I get mocked, ridiculed, teased, threatened, and even bullied over what I do and who I am. I am sorry, Wriggle. Of course, I don't mean to play the victim and make you feel sorry for me. I realized long ago that your enemies choose you, and you choose your friends. There's no point in trying to convince people who have already made up their mind. You know what I'm talking about. Arguments. I'm telling you, do not waste your time arguing with people. Man, I used to get into tons of arguments with people who wanted nothing to do with insects. I can't believe that Wriggle used to be a poster. Wriggle has scars from the posting wars. I would explain things like how insects are pretty and are pretty clean and beneficial to the world, but it would always end up the same way. Their opinions remain unchanged no matter what. Why? This one time, I was interviewed by a cheeky, self-proclaimed journalist of truth. Even though I tried to explain my side of what I do and who I am, she totally bullied me during the end of it. Well, anyways, there's civil discussions, and then there's arguments. The end of an argument is somehow to prove the other side that you're right and they're wrong. But I'll put it bluntly, especially with those strangers, are almost entirely pointless. They're not fun, they're a waste of your time, and by the end of it, no one is really going to change their mind. I can't believe Wriggle is already just 100% pinpoint accuracy describing Twitter. It's entirely normal to want to engage in an argument, mainly because we feel like we need to prove something to ourselves and the other person. We feel a part of who we are is at stake. And of course, just understand that you don't have anything to prove to anyone. Just like you like what you like, and you are who you are, and nothing can change that. No one ever spends their time angrily arguing with someone for a while and thinks, wow, that was a really good way to spend my time and I don't regret it. That is unbelievably true. I have never gotten into an argument at any point in my life and walked away thinking that was a productive use of my time. And here's where civil discussion comes in. If both you and the other party are willing to engage with someone in a polite and civil manner, both of you are having fun doing it, well then keep doing it. She do in fact be spitting facts. She is spitting so many facts here. A civil discussion is an exchange of opinions that both parties can get a better understanding. The cool thing about having a civil conversation is that you can disagree with the other person and still have a discussion. Now, even civil discussions can turn into a heated argument. What do? It's simple. You hit the bricks. Is that it, Wriggle? Wriggle, do you hit the bricks? Yeah, you just stop. You hit the bricks. You beat it. You ain't got to be there anymore. If it's not productive, it's not a good use of your time, bounce. When you're not having fun anymore, when you're feeling uncomfortable, when you're tired, or even if you just don't feel like it, that's when you stop. Again, there's nothing you have to prove to anybody. If you'd rather not do it, just don't. So that's basically it. Civil discussions are good, arguments are bad, and I hope this info was a little bit useful for you. Yeah, just use your invincible backdash to get out of the conversation. That was a pleasant surprise. Aw. Take care and have a wonderful day. No, you too. All right, let's I think that's all I'm gonna get out of this. That's interesting. Like, this is like genuinely good advice of basically like be mindful, don't judge yourself, and be willing to get out of situations that you know are not going to be helpful. If you're like stuck in an argument with somebody and they're just not budging, and it's very clear that no one is going to change their mind or is really looking to make it like to understand the other person's position, just walk away. Literally do anything else. Close Twitter, close Discord, close whatever. Do literally anything else with your time. All right, time to eat cucumbers. I walk slowly down the forest path. You enjoy the beautiful scenery of the trees. You admire the singing of the birds around you. You feel the warmth of the sun on your face. For this trip, you brought all the essentials with you. A flashlight, a first aid kit, food, water. But most importantly, what you brought with you is a pack of cucumbers. I love a cucumber. Get that good ass chomp. A friend of mine described cucumbers to me once as EX water. Like that's like water with meter, and I'm like, yeah, they are. Cucumbers are absolutely just EX water. Yo, damn. You got that 1 bar water? That's a cucumber. You go ahead, you see a waterfall, and you decide to check it out. It's an awe-inspiring scene. You simply gaze at the luxurious waterfall, and while adoring its majesty, you suddenly see someone appear between your very eyes. It's Nitori! My invention, actually. Oh my gosh. Wait, she is? Is this Toho canon? Nitori isn't human? I always assumed she was. I'm here to take your... Oh god, wait. What's that? What's that in your pocket? What's that? Is that a cucumber? You put out a pair of cucumbers, you assume she... You just keep a cucumber in your pocket. It is. I don't believe it. Listen, I'm not going to try and get too technical on you, but I've got a lot of experience and knowledge in a lot of fields pertaining to the 3 Fs. Okay, what are the 3 Fs? Fiancés, friends, and failures. Oh god. Look, I'm very familiar with all 3 of those. Yes, I love having choices. Glad to hear it. I'll fulfill my end of the deal first. Now, what do you want help with? Ah, did I misread that? It's not actually fiancés. Ah. I need help with my finances. Help me. Help me. How do I manage money, bad habits, and scam? Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Nitori teaches you about NFTs and how to avoid the metaverse. I wonder, is that going to work? Oh, it worked. Fumo! This makes sense. This should have happened earlier. Hi, everybody. It's been a while since I've been a Fumo. Don't buy the monkey. Just don't buy the monkey. You're not going to flip it. It's not going to be worth more at any point. It's like, look, don't be the one caught holding the hot potato. Financial advice. All right, there are actually a whole lot of things to avoid if you want to stay financially well. So let's start with a couple. Never, ever gamble. Don't go to casinos. Don't play the lottery. No, don't. That is practical advice. I like that. The odds are rigged against you. As a matter of fact, the odds of you losing are just 51%. You're going to lose money over time no matter what. That's true. Don't go to casinos. They suck. Vegas is a black hole designed to take your money. Let's see, have much worse odds, like gambling quite addictive and leave you bankrupt if you let the best way to stay away from the practice of gambling altogether, even if you think you're doing it for fun. And gambling is not just limited to slot machines and roulette. Don't say gotcha games. Don't say gotcha games. Taking wild and risky bets in the stock market is an extremely bad idea. Also, like buying the monkeys. Don't get involved with the monkeys. Nothing good is going to come from that. Let's see, if you want to save money, avoid nasty addictive habits. Let's talk about smoking. Wow, this game's like just laser targeting me. You should never get into that habit. You should never smoke. Thank you, Nitori. If you don't mean to judge you if you do, but smoking is toxic to you, the environment, and those around you. Plus, it can cost you a lot of money. We're talking about thousands of dollars and tens of thousands of dollars over the years. Think about what the kind of money you could get if you didn't spend it on such a nasty habit. This goes for any other addictive substance, even alcohol. Like, not bad advice, really. Of course, it's fine to have fun with a drink or two, especially at a party. But just like cigarettes, consuming and spending too much on them is absolutely no good. Like, really, this line of logic applies to anything, but especially smoking alcohol. You have to spend money. The human invention known as credit cards can be as evil as they are convenient. Wow, I can't believe that she's, like, knocking debt. It's really easy to spend money with a credit card, and you don't have to pay anything up front. This leads to people thinking they can just worry about paying it later, and they don't have the money right now, but this is completely wrong. If you honestly don't have a plan to pay for it off in the future, then you can barely get away making minimum payments, then don't do it. Like, yep, you'll get stuck in, like, yep, loans, yep, here are some general guidelines. If it sounds too good to be true, it's probably a scam. If you have to pay someone to work for them, it's a scam. If you're promised by a prince in a foreign land a large sum of money, if you give a small amount in comparison, it's a scam. It's like, if you're expected to work for free with only the verbal promise of being paid later, it's a scam. Yo, fuck unpaid internships, for real. Like, I worked one for a while after college, and they kept telling me, oh, we're gonna hire you, and it never happened. If it makes uncontagious scams, it's a scam. Let's see, if a robotic voice claims to be an official agent asking for money, it's a scam. If you've been told you want a huge prize, it's a scam. Yeah, you basically get the idea. Avoid unhealthy addictive behaviors and don't fall for scams. You hand over the cucumber, and there you go. All right, what's she gonna do? She gonna eat them cucumbers? She gonna eat the cucumber? Oh, good, some good stuff. That's good stuff right there. That's some good stuff right there. Oh, if I do so say myself. Oh, that's what I'm talking about right there. Right there. Oh, that's so good. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit carried away there. All right, take care, my friend. And then she disappears. All right, what else? What other wisdom do you have for us, Sage? Old Sage Nitori. What can you put? Yes, yes, we're gonna make a deal here. All right, let's see. I need help with failures. I really do need help with some failures. I feel like a failure. What do you got for me? Well, that's no good. I can't let my sworn friend feel like that. First, you have to identify what makes you feel that way. A common way one might feel like a failure is because other people around them seem to be living more fulfilling lives. Yeah. Well, more often than not, it's all a lie. It's all smoke and mirrors. Instagram isn't real. Those kinds of people only show and tell what they want you to see. For instance, you may see them make a lot of money, but they could also be drowning in debt. Or they could seem like they have a healthy relationship with their spouse, but they end up fighting every day. You don't need to concern yourself with how others are doing. Even if they were doing as well as they seem, that has nothing to do with you. Truth is, there's always going to be someone ahead of you or behind you in some aspect of your life. So there's no point in feeling inadequate because other people are seemingly doing better than you. It's got nothing to do with your current situation. And if you feel like a failure because you're not happy with the way your life is, you can always change it. I understand humans have a shorter lifespan than people from my world. However, that doesn't mean you don't have enough time to change where you are right now. Many people feel like their lives are over when they reach a certain point of their lives, but the truth is, it can only just begin when you want it to. You just have to understand that there's always room to improve and always time to change. You have to identify what it is that you can do to make you feel more fulfilled and less like a failure and work towards that. A method you can do is to write down every step that's preventing you from getting where you want to be, and then reflect on how you can overcome those obstacles preventing you one step at a time. Do not compare yourself to other people. Focus on how you can improve your situation one step at a time. You know, this actually is like a very good practical advice game. All right, I'm getting to the... Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. Some good stuff right there, right there, right there, right there. If I do say so myself, that's what I'm talking about right there. Oh, right there. Good stuff. Genuinely good advice. All right, I'm like, what else could she possibly have to say? That was good. The DLC is very good. I'm surprised. Like, I'm actually really impressed by the writing of this game. Like, it's genuinely good advice wrapped up in a big old shitpost. All right. I need help with friends. Okay, this is gonna be good. How do I be a good friend? Well, how nice of you to want to help out your fellow allies. Greetings, fellow allies. The key to being a good friend and ally is to always be supportive. To start off, if your friend is going through a very tough time, or just needs some positive words, it's important to let them know that you're there for them. If you even suspect that something is wrong with them, be sure to reach out and ask if everything is okay. Kind gestures like that can go a very long way towards a healthy friendship. You know, it's always, this is very real. Like, there have been, like, I'm sure like everybody else, I've had low points in the past 2 years, and there have been spots where it's been pretty rough. Having somebody just reach out and be like, hey, hope you have a good day today, or something like that, can actually mean a lot. At least for me. Even if you can't do anything about their situation directly, simply saying that you're there for them or you'll support them and you can help, like, you can still support them, can make them feel better and go a long way towards achieving their goal. Even if your friend accomplished something that has a personal challenge to them or was hard, be sure to congratulate them, even if you're not as passionate about it as they are. This could be anything from a hard game that they beat to an exam that they passed. Don't ignore them or leave them on read when they post their accomplishments. Make sure you like all of their tweets. Retweet all of their schedules and like everything, or else your friends might be sad. A simple congratulatory remark can mean a lot to people. You should try not to give them bad piece of advice when they're in need. This may seem like common sense, but actually a lot of popular responses that seem like they're good at the time maybe not be that great. Saying things like, you can't be sad because other people have it worse than you is terrible advice and helps no one. Absolutely never fucking do that. Remember, like in the, like just in the prior one, like in the last section, she was talking about how other people's situations don't really impact you. If someone's having a rough time, telling them something that, hey, go compare yourself to other people and that's supposed to make you feel better is terrible advice. Like, when has that ever worked? Hey, go look at somebody else that's worse than you, or you like might be considered to be worse off than you, and then just go say, be like, yeah, well, I'm glad I'm not them. Wow, cool. Now I don't feel better. I just feel worse for, like, I feel bad for both of us. It's always a good idea to put yourself in their perspective and try to get a better understanding of how they feel. It's always good to try out new things with them. If you want to bond with a friend, a great way to do this would be to hang out and do activities together. This can be anything from hanging out with them, playing video games with them, going to events with them, or simply just talking to them. It doesn't matter if you're close or apart, there are plenty of things that you can do. This will help you learn new things about the person and make them feel more comfortable around you. With all that said, don't feel like you're carrying the weight or draining yourself when it comes to friends. Being a good friend should come naturally. You shouldn't really have to force yourself to do anything that you don't want to do. So be supportive of your friends. It's like going to be trying to be mindful of what they're going through and be sure to bring about a healthy friendship with them. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, or they take it seriously and they end up feeling bad for feeling bad, which has never worked out for anyone ever. Oh, hey, I'm back. I've been defumified. Got... I'm curious. One more go. One more go about failures. I'm curious about one of these. I did fail at something. It's good to, oh wow, that hit me in a spot. It's good to fail. I don't even view failure as a bad thing. It's just simply a stepping stone to your next success. What a good reframe. Failing is one of the most natural things that you can do in life, and when you think about it, your entire life is filled with failure, right? From when you decide to learn how to walk, just because you failed at something does not mean you're a loser. It just means you're closer to achieving your goals. That's simply just not how life works. No matter what, as long as you keep trying, you will eventually get to where you want. And if I'm being honest, plenty of my own inventions end up in failure. I once tried to make a machine that would automatically heat up cucumbers, but unfortunately, the device would just blow them up instead. Does that mean I should stop trying altogether? Of course not. Don't feel too bad about your perceived failures. It's entirely normal and something everyone goes through. Of course, it does sting to not have things go quite your way. You may even get hate directed towards you for it, either by yourself or through other people. The best way to approach negativity is to simply not approach it at all. Real talk right there. The best way to avoid negativity is just don't go there. Hit the bricks. You don't have to be there. Yeah, but microwaving a cucumber. All right, so if cucumbers are EX water, if you heat them up, could you make EX tea from EX cucumbers? Might need to explore that one. Let's see. Look at what you did well, what you can do better, and build on that. This is called constructive feedback. You don't need to pay attention to unhelpful, negative comments. And that said, there's nothing wrong with taking a break and coming back to it at a later time. Don't burn yourself out with your projects. And as a matter of time, coming back to something after taking a break can actually end up being way better than just continually working at it. And in conclusion, don't let your failure bring you down, but rather, let it motivate you towards your goal. And don't forget to take a break if you need one. Last part's very important. And so, cucumbers. Let's one last go with this. Oh, that's some good stuff right there. Oh, that's good stuff right there. Oh, that's some good stuff. If I do say so myself, that's what I'm talking about right there. Right there. Oh, good stuff. Did get a little bit carried away. All right. So I think that's about the gist that we're going to get from Sakuya Izayoi gives you advice and dabs, plus Nitori Kawashiro offers you advice in exchange for cucumbers, and then eats the cucumbers. So let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let me load up the most important game and the DLC. Steam, don't fail me now, please. Why are you updating? Why is there an update to this game? Moku eats your meat and potatoes. I would definitely play the Moku eats meat and potatoes. All right, here we go. Here we go, baby. It's time for CBT. It's time for CBT with Yuka Kazami. Let's see, preferences, what do we got? Windowed, full screen, unseen text, everything. Everything seems good. All right, let's go. I do have the DLC for this one, yes. I bought all the DLC for all of them. You walk along your way to the forest. You walk along your way to the forest in search of the field of sunflowers. After some time, you come across the sunflower garden. Oh, you meet the person you've been looking for. Yuka. That's as far as you go. I really don't want you stepping on these sunflowers. You'll hurt the poor tortured souls. I forgot. That's the thing in Touhou, that sunflowers are tortured souls. You must be here for the CBT sessions! I mostly just keep to myself and enjoy the company of flowers year-round. This is like the most out of character. Like, this character is a sociopath in the game. Like, she's a sociopath by Touhou standards. Alright, it doesn't hurt to learn more about humans and how the mind works. Alright, let's... So I picked up a psychology book that half the yokai shop owner had had it laying around in his store. It was there that I learned about cognitive behavioral therapy. It seems pretty useful, and I couldn't help but want to share it with a few humans. And here we are, so I'm glad you could take it. Alright, really glad you can make it. Really glad. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have a good time. It's so nice of you to join me. The human mind, it's deep and complex. It's amazing. But at the same time, it's quite irrational. Downright absurd at some points. Our brain is ultimately trying to protect itself, but sometimes it overreacts to things that aren't really viable threats to our safety and well-being. These irrational thoughts can cause a slew of problems to our mental health. That's where cognitive behavioral therapy comes in. Essentially, cognitive behavioral therapy is using logic-based strategies to help us alleviate the symptoms of poor mental health. It's more or less accurate. Our problems come from irrationality, so it's only natural that grounding ourselves in logic and reason can help us feel better. Facts and logic. I can't believe that Yuka is a debate bro. We can't change how we feel, but we can certainly change how we react. And by changing how we react, we can eventually change how— wait. We can't change how we feel, but we can change how we feel. Yeah, this is definitely counseling. It becomes a full circle. It's like nature itself. Kind of beautiful when you think about it. With cognitive behavioral therapy, you can take steps and finally reclaim your true self. With that said, this is different than just giving someone advice. These are actual activities that you have to try multiple times to see results. But you wouldn't have come all this way and not put at least some effort. It wouldn't be very nice to waste your time here, or my time for that matter. It wouldn't be nice at all. With that said, let's begin the first lesson. This one is about negative or inaccurate thinking. In life, sometimes things do not go our way. Naturally, this is perfectly normal and bound to happen eventually. However, sometimes we think of the worst possible things as a result when the unexpected occurs. And as a result, we may develop certain lines of thinking that are not in line with reality. To combat this, we just need to challenge those overblown thoughts with reality. For example, let's say you said hi to a friend you saw across a hall or a street. But no, they completely ignored you. Now tell me, what's the reason for that? What usually comes to mind when something like that happens? I must be stupid, dumb, and ugly. See, now that's not an uncommon thought. Well, as you just demonstrated, it's easy to jump to a conclusion and think that it must be our fault when something like this happens. However, this is mostly an emotional side talking to us this way. We have yet to be challenged this thought with logic. Now, I'm going to demonstrate some more logical grounds as to why our friend might have ignored you. They could have been busy with something that took up their attention. They could have had headphones on. They thought it was a stranger calling to them. Or they could be dealing with something serious, and your voice was drowned out. I can't believe this game, this game is Yuka destroys your depression with facts and logic. They simply did not hear you. See? Don't you find it like it's much more likely they just didn't hear you than them hating you over something you're not even sure would have made them upset? Next time you start thinking such negative thoughts, try to counter it with logic. Instead of thinking, they walk past me because they hate me, try something more logical like, They were probably busy with something and simply didn't hear me. Of course, that doesn't just apply to friends. It can apply to anything. For instance, I myself don't particularly have any close friends, but I still worry about some things. When I go flower gazing, a thought will pop in my head and I'll think, oh no! What if someone interrupts my gazing and ruins the flowers I enjoy watching so much? Then I go, don't worry. The moment he so much as caresses these flowers, I will slowly turn him inside out with my pinky finger and make him watch. Yeah, Izvi. That's right, Izvi. She's not a sociopath. If someone interrupts her flower gazing, she'll turn them inside out with her pinky finger. Very normal thing to do. Very healthy thing to do. I do that all the time. And then I just feel so much better afterwards. But such a thing doesn't really relate to you, huh? So here's one. Let's say you want to go to the doctor, but you're scared of needles and you don't want to get seriously injured. Once again, just challenge it with logic. Counter it with something, he's a trained professional who has done this countless times. The chances of anything going seriously wrong are extremely low. And I hope you get the general idea. Overall, if you get any negative thoughts that are causing you unease, be sure to try and challenge them with logic-based thoughts. Oh, I wouldn't try to have grand arguments with yourself in your head. Just simply address the thoughts. This is a good one. This is a really, really good one. So one of the things that... Alright. Should I be oversharing? I'll be oversharing. That's the true secret that all VTubers have in the back pocket. One of the things that people with either attention deficit or anxiety disorders or anything, or even depression, tend to do is ruminate. Where you just you keep going over the same thing over and over in your head because at some level, it feels good to revisit that. It's stimulating. So especially for people that are that have ADD or ADHD, if you're laying in bed and your brain just won't stop, it's because your brain is seeking some kind of stimulation, because rumination is fulfilling something there. And we do it, it happens. It even happens without ADD or ADHD because it's, again, ruminating can sometimes feel good, but it doesn't actually make progress toward the thing. So just addressing the thought and moving on is a big thing to do. So remember, you don't have to entirely believe what you counter it with, just important is that you respond in an appropriate manner. And that concludes the first lesson. So what's the next lesson? Oh, it's about a thought journal. You write down your negative thoughts and feelings to identify patterns of harmful and often illogical thinking, and then challenge those with more helpful, balanced thoughts. Write out what's causing you distress. And be as specific as you can. Write down what you're feeling. You can even note the intensity of how you feel. Never mind. Then, when you've written it out, identify the portions of irrational thinking present in what you have written. Finally, after you've identified the irrational portions, change them with more healthy, balanced thoughts that are based on logic. Yeah, this is the therapy equivalent. Look, if you feel bad about your stream, go check your VODs. See if there's things that maybe you can address going forward. And try to counter your belief that you had a terrible disaster of a stream with facts and logic. It's helpful because you're challenging your beliefs again, but also writing down your thoughts, which allows you to see them in a different perspective and help you cope better in the future. Now the tricky part is identifying exactly what you wrote down that's irrational. I think the best way is to give you an example of what a proper thought journal entry would look like. Alright, Yuka. What is it? What's in the thought journal? Oh! I tailor-made this for a common situation that humans face. What's bothering me? I think my friends don't actually like me and don't want to hang out with me because I'm a depressing person who brings them down. It makes me feel sad, depressed, lonely, even hopeless. And it hurts pretty bad. So what are some irrational lines of thinking here? I'm assuming that what my friends are thinking about me even though I cannot read their minds. Also, I'm only thinking that my friends don't like me, however, I didn't take into account the nice things they've done for me that prove that they do like me. I'm also going based on my feeling alone without any logic. There's no evidence to suggest that everyone secretly despises me. So what would be some more balanced and reasonable thoughts? My friends won't actually be my friends if they didn't like me. I can always ask them if there's something I can do that puts them in a worse mood, or they can just tell me themselves and we can work on it from there. Let's do a situation here. I think my friends don't actually like me, and no, I'm not gonna overshare there. Nobody actually likes me, and even though I hide my stream metrics and don't look at them, I just assume they're bad anyway and then get depressed about it. This is an irrational line of thinking because I'm assuming that things are negative without actually any logic or evidence. And with that, you should have an understanding of what a thought journal is and how you can use it. It involves more effort, but it can be helpful. And it's generally what you would put in there that comes into more extensive therapy. It's actually really practical advice. I've known people that have done this. Like, they set aside like 15-20 minutes at the end of the day as they're kind of in their wind down routine before they go to bed, and they would do this. And most of them would have told me that it was actually extremely helpful while they were doing it, or that they kept doing it just as a anticipatory thing of just writing down kind of like, hey, this is a thing that happened to me today. Like, exactly. What bothered me today? How did it make me feel? How would I rate how badly it hurt? And then try to identify either like illogical things or stuff that they could possibly do to be better at handling that in the future. It seems silly, but again, like, even setting aside 10-15 minutes to even just fill out the top portion here is actually clinically pretty helpful for people. All right, final lesson. Tell me, Yuka, what's in the final lesson? This one is called belief experimentation. It's one step further down from what you've learned so far, and this is the most powerful closed beta testing strategy you can learn. Yeah, so forming a good habit like that, it can, mostly in the sense of trying to, it's a momentum kind of thing, right? If you're setting time aside to try to have a good habit of like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna unpack my feelings instead of ruminating on them, that can help you get momentum and free up space in your life to try to form other good habits. Like, so one thing I do lately is, instead of like scrolling Twitter first thing in the morning, I solve the Wordle before I let myself check any social media. And it's kind of a goofy thing, but it does help me get my brain going, and it feels better to do something like, hey, I solved a puzzle, instead of just sitting here and scrolling while my brain goes through its boot sequence. It's like little stuff like that. Honestly, doing literally anything else but checking Twitter is probably one of the best things you can do for your mental health. Since our negative feelings are not based on reality, acting them out and noting what happened is one of the best ways you can ease troubles. This is because more often than not, what actually transpired doesn't match with what we thought actually happened in our minds. Now, let's get started. First, start by writing down the experiment you're going to do that's based on your troubles. And then write down what you think is going to happen. That's also a good point, because having them written down also means that you can go back and, like, let's say, you spend 10-15 minutes writing, but then you sit down on Sunday, end of the week, and you just reflect on what you wrote. What are some things that bothered me? What are some things that I thought about? And try to see if there's themes and everything. It gives you a way to look and kind of make connections that you otherwise might not have. Because, I don't know, like, a lot of people we're very in the moment creatures. We tend to, compartmentalize things and move on, but if you're writing things down like that, you can go and make those connections and realize, like, hey, I'm consistently getting upset by these kinds of things. Or this is a theme that is coming up, or I'm noticing that I anticipate that other people are going to reject me, and that's bumming me out. And that can help you to try to make those connections and see that, hey, it's not just about the individual thing that happened on Monday and Thursday and Friday. Those are part of a pattern. So what's the experiment? So you write down what actually ended up happening and what you learned from it. Was it as bad as you thought it was? Was it as positive or negative? Would you be doing this again in the future? Did it ease your trouble? So just like the thought feeling, yeah, and this is the big thing. Reflection. Reflection is key, but productive reflection. It's just ruminating where you spin your wheels because it's simulating to do it and it releases some kind of brain juice isn't enough. Reflection is proactive, is an active thing that you do that leads to a measurable outcome. So I'm going to perform a belief experiment myself, and I've already finished some of it anyway, but here goes. I shall give a closed beta testing lesson to a human. The human will end up wasting my time because I believe humans to be weak and disappointing. But the outcome, I guess, is now as good as any time to show you my new spell card. Oh! She's got a gun! Think fast. You ain't the only one packing heat. I gotcha. So what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be, Yuka? Oh, we were just thinking if you were really wasting my time or not. Let me quiz you on some of the techniques we learned today. If you get it right, that means you have indeed been listening and therefore have not been wasting my time, thus proving that humans aren't so bad at all. Get it wrong and well, you'll just be confirming what I knew, but that's okay. It doesn't affect me in the slightest. Now on to the first question. Let's start with the basics. What does CBT stand for? Yuka Biscuit. Marry me, Yuka. I love you, Yuka. Cognitive behavioral therapy. I don't want to get shot. What is a cognitive thought journal? When you write about how much you love Yuka. When you write about how happy you are. How happy you're going to make Yuka. When you write about how cute Yuka is. When you write about events. All right, on the last question. What is belief experimentation? When you experiment with kissing Yuka. I'm going to die. Oh, neither was I. Yeah, was never gonna shoot ya. It was just kidding, mostly kidding. All right, let's take the thought experiment from the top now, shall we? I shall give a CBT lesson to a human. The human will end up wasting my time. But the prediction did not come true. The human listened to me attentively, answered every question correctly, exceeded my expectations, and thoroughly entertained me. Humans can be a wonderful source of entertainment, and I shall hang out with them more. Oh, we're friends. When you feel scared or frightened, always remember oh my god, this is the meme! Which came first? Was it the meme or this? Always remember the happy times in your life. Good memories can save your life, as they say. Well, that concludes the lesson. Try out whichever method works best for you, whenever you need it, and make use of what I taught you today. I mean it. You're free to come back anytime you need a refresher. I better see you soon. Take care. Wait, let's see. I thought I bought the DLC for this. I could have sworn I had bought the DLC. Let me check. And in the meantime, yeah, I do have the DLC. What does it take to... So what does it take to be able to play the Patchy's Knowledge Surprise? So this only came out in 2020, so this follows the meme. Ah, cool. I love a reference. All right. It says here I have it installed too. So, Oh, she doesn't kill me if I tell her that I want to marry her? Dang, that sucks. I'm gonna restart the game and see if that loads the DLC. If not, we're gonna move on to Save Me Sakuya-san. Yeah, that's a bummer. Cause like I'm seeing it. I'm assuming that it's good, and like I own it. It's on Steam. It's downloaded. It's supposed to just give you the option to play it. Ah, that's a bummer. All right, I'm gonna try one last go here. I'm gonna try to uninstall and reinstall it. It should only take a couple seconds, so yeah, give me preparing. All right, it's already done. Downloading from the computer. And verifying will take longer to verify than anything else. All right, we're gonna try to and see if this works. Verify. Thank you, Gabe. All right, let's play. Please. Yes, it worked. Get help with Patchy. I've actually never said Patchy's name out loud except for calling her Patchy, so I do not know how to pronounce it. After making your way into the mansion, you wander aimlessly around the library, looking for the person who might be able to help you. And after a while, you find the person you're looking for. Patchouli? Ah, it's Patchouli. Patchouli knowledge. What is the surprise? Normally, I'd fry intruder to a crisp, but I don't sense one shred of danger from your aura. That look on your face, you seem like you need some help. I do need some help. In fact, I'm going through a hard time. I need some knowledge. I need some empathy. So what brings you here? Well, let's see. I've been looking for you. Thanks for showing up. I have a story to tell you. The story is 100% true. None of it has been made up. Just for you, I'm going to use the full extent of what I've learned during my reading. It dates back a long time ago, so get comfortable. This might take a while. Come. Long ago, before even Remilia and I were born, people told rumors of a sacred object that would give you the entire world. And if you had this sacred artifact, you'd have power beyond your wildest dreams. As long as you had it, you would have the heart of a lion, the strength of 100 men, the cunning of a snake, and the speed of a typo. However, it became apparent that only those with pure and noble heart could use it. Let's see. All right, it followed many civilizations throughout history. It's me! I am the powerful artifact! I am responsible for the rise and fall of many civilizations! In ancient Britannia I was forged, but no man or woman is able to take me from the stone! It was none other than Caesar! But when Caesar took the fumo from the stone, he was completely awe of his newfound strength, and he personally treaded over 200 miles back to Rome. Oh my god. He built up the entire Roman Empire! And then went mad with power, abused his position, and became more cruel than he was merciful. Everyone revolted against the cruel emperor, and at the last moment, when he needed it, the sacred artifact vanished before his very eyes! Caesar was killed by his own people. Overnight, every single Roman city collapsed and crumbled. And that's how the Roman Empire fell. Anyway, that's enough history now. Happy birthday, we heard oh, it's my birthday! How old am I? Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm not older than 25. Yeah, don't ask me how old I am. You still look cute enough to be chopped up into 30 tiny pieces and eaten. That's a good Yuka line. Maybe I can cook you up and feed the mistress while we're at it. Oh gosh. Oh no. I'm not very edible. I'm just a fumo. I'm just a being of unlimited power. I am responsible for the rise and fall of empires, the rising and setting of the sun. What's the present? Oh! The legendary artifact I was talking about earlier. It was found on the borders of Gensoko, and we managed to procure it through slightly unquestionable means. Oh, here you go, King. I finally have a Fumo of my own that doesn't require being a Fumo. I'm glad that I did cognitive behavioral therapy and acquired a Fumo. But it's not my birthday. It would be wrong to take it. And he takes out the gun! You proceed to take the artifact! But as soon as you touch it, it disappears and you can feel its essence seep deep inside you. I certainly have become one with it. That's why they promise us that you'll never stop getting better. And if you ever feel down again, don't hesitate to come back. Aww. Aww, that was actually really sweet. That was very nice. I'm glad I played this. Alright. And so that's CBT with Yuka. It's time for yet another Touhou-themed therapy game. And you know what? If there was one Touhou-themed therapy game, that would be cool. But the fact that I was able to find 3 is, you know what? It's great. It's wonderful. I love it. That was really sweet. Alright, here we go. Let's see. We've got Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, We Know the Devil, Unsighted, Ultra Kill, Ultimate Fishing Simulator. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Load, 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 load. Come on and load. Come on and load. Here we go! Save me, Sakuya-san. We Know the Devil is... I've been waiting to do it for another charity stream. So, if and when I do another week of gaming for probably, what, I did Trevor Project, maybe Trans Lifeline. I would try to, I've got a set of games I want to play for it. Yeah, I wanted to do, We Know the Devil is on there. Probably go through and try to do some Celeste levels. I've got a bunch of other short kind of game jammy VNs to play. So, and then I've really just been waiting for Studio Alarm to drop Please Be Happy. I think that would be fun. Yeah, I have the schedule already. I'm just really waiting for Please Be Happy to drop. But if I don't hear anything by March, I'll probably just play Heart of the Woods and schedule another charity week. All right, let's get it. Save me, Sakuya-san. Hello. It seems you really wanted it all to end. Good thing I came in at the last second, and I'm glad that you could be here with me today. Why did you save me, Sakuya-san? Well, I never meant to intrude. Trust me, I would have left you alone and never interfered. But someone who's been watching you for a small bit sensed that deep down, you didn't actually want it to end. It was faint, but your soul was crying for help, begging for another chance at life. So naturally, I volunteered to help. We Love FK plays softly in the distance. And regardless, I'm here for you. So what do you want from me, Sakuya? She only wants one thing. For you to get better. I want you to get some sleep. It looks like you hardly got any. I can tell just by looking at you. It is hard to get some sleep, but just remember, what you did in the past does not matter right now. Whatever you think is going to happen in the future doesn't matter right now either. Nothing else matters right now. The only thing that matters right now is closing your eyes and getting a proper 8 hours of sleep. I love this. Is this how I do my first sleeping stream? Let's up. I've got the desktop audio up as high as it'll go. Alright. You may notice that the more you try to sleep, the harder it gets to actually get some shut-eye. You shouldn't try to sleep, it should just fall upon them. Like, it should fall upon them as natural as waking. Once you let go and stop thinking, I'm sure you'll find that it's much easier to get some shut-eye. But take all the time you need. You can even just look at me if it helps you. This is a sleeping simulator with Sakuya-san so far. Now she has a knife. Alright, there you are. You seem well rested, I guess. It's been 30 seconds. Aww. So this is an interesting game. I'm not sure how I feel about this so far. Uh-oh, there's work to do. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna have you make some food. So this is Sakuya helps you with your depression simulator. Making apples and fruit salad? I've never done this before. Her knives are always razor. Oh shit, I get to borrow the knives too. But let's get started. Take this knife. I'm gonna throw these fruit in the air and you do your best to chop them. I love Fruit Ninja. Awesome. I'm doing great. I mean, it's fruit salad. It can't be bad. Fruit salad is like the easiest like slam dunk of anything you can ever bring to a party. You just cut up some apples and some oranges, you throw some grapes in there. People will like it. Aw. What's the other important part? You may have had some troubles in your life. The kind of things that just keep running through your head no matter how hard you try. What if thoughts, regretting past choices, anxiety about the future. It's quite annoying when all that happens, isn't it? However, I'm willing to bet that you weren't thinking about such things while you were busy cutting up the fruit that you were here with me, were you? It's important to keep your mind occupied with healthy activities such as these. It works wonders towards fighting those nasty thoughts and in general is great for your well-being. And I hope this was of some use to you. And that's all I got for you for now. See you tomorrow! Ah, Fumos! What is it about the Fumo? I need to make friends with evolutionary psychologists. There is something about the Fumo that is just so appealing. It just sparks good brain chemicals, and I don't understand why. What is it? What is it about the Fumo? What primal part of my brain is this hitting that just activates all the good neurons? Yeah, that's a good point. Evolutionary psychologists don't care because they can't fuck it. Psych people are so fucking weird. I'm working on another script right now and I had to do F-Psych research and I was like, God, this sucks. If I get anything past just the surface, it's either weirdly psychosexual or just outwardly racist or both. And that's all of evolutionary psychology. It always leads to racism. All right, it's my third day here. Oh, she got the Fumos in the room. Oh. So you must be wondering why I brought you here. I need to perform a little experiment with you. What's happening? What's happening? I'm a little nervous. Well, you can trust me. You'll be completely safe. I was gonna say, is it gonna be lap? Is she gonna give the lap? Oh, oh. Oh. Alright, answer these questions for me and I'll give you an extensive profile that matches who you are, to help you better understand yourself. So just be as honest as possible. Why do you hate living? It hurts to be alive. What do you think about the most? I keep thinking about an uncertain future. I didn't belong anywhere. Who do you blame? I don't blame anyone. So what's the last question? Where would you like to be buried? Under a tree. What's the profile? Damn. Well... Woo! You have your hopes and aspirations, but you need a good push or two in the right direction to achieve them. You have a lot of sadness in your heart. You need something or someone to help you stop letting your sorrows build up in you. You often burn a lot of bridges, but only out of necessity. You need to learn to forgive yourself. You're too harsh on yourself sometimes. So what do you think? Pretty accurate, right? Well, the Barnum effect says that, yeah, Nick, I'm gonna find that accurate, but you know what? You know, if you were to tell me, you seem like a pretty neurotic person, I'd be like, yeah. So there's actually... This is gonna be in... This is a little preview. This is gonna give you a little of a preview of the video I'm working on. So there's a really fun study called Room with a Q that Sam Gosling did back in the 2000s, where they asked people to they didn't look at photos. That was a later study. They went through a person's room, and then they were asked to rate the person that lives in that room on the Big Five inventory. So extroversion, openness to new experience, conscientiousness, agreeableness, and neuroticism. So they are asking you to rate that person, and generally just by looking at a person's room, they were able to make a meaningful prediction and were accurate at predicting the self-rated personality of the person that lives there. And so what does this have to do with any of this? You could probably look at my VTuber model, and you can probably make a good guess that I'm a very anxious person. I don't know why, but you can probably figure it out. Ah, fuck! Of course you were! You fool! Think to understand who you really are, you have to hang out, I'd have to hang out with you more and get to know you better. Yeah, what was the point? You lied to me. Oh, okay, that's fine. That aside, I did this to prove something to you. That doesn't really matter what I or other people perceive you as. You're always free to shape your own fate and your own destiny. And only those who accept you for who you are, only those who accept you for who you are and what you want to do matter. But what if I don't like who I am? Oh! Believe it or not, I can relate. I wasn't always like the person you see before you. I felt lonely and isolated from other people. Even when I was working in this mansion, I was still rather cruel to humans and even those around me, and I thought, as long as I have a bed to sleep on, I don't need anything else. At the end of the day, I thought of only myself. But, as I'm sure you know, I wasn't out solving an incident, but there was a huge and unusual amount of red spider lilies growing everywhere. Well, long story short, I realized after that incident that the things you and I do matter. Even the smallest, most minor actions I do matter as well. I have an impact on people, big or small, and that will eventually come around to have an impact on me whether I realize it or not. So from then on, I wanted to be warm and kind to those around me. For the most part. Some people really need a good scolding before you can put some sense into them. But it's nice and but be nice until it's time to not be nice. That's a good one. I want you to understand this. Just like how it was never too late for me to change my ways, it's never too late to change your ways either. That is, for the stuff that you want to change. There's always going to be parts of us that we wouldn't change for the world. That's just fine. We just need to surround ourselves with those who love us for who we are. But of course, if you have no one, that's fine too. Being able to walk your own path by yourself is quite a virtue. And along the way, you may find what or who you're looking for, along the way, you may find what or who you're looking for along the way. And just for the record, I accept you for who you are and for who you want to be. Yeah, Sakuya do be kind of spitting here though. Aww. No! No, I wanted to stay! Oh, we're going fishing! Hell yeah! Aww. Claire, that actually rules. I don't think that has anything to do with being naturally anxious. That just means you have good taste. To get an art commission of a plush version of your Sona. I've, every now and then, I get the hankering and I think, what if I just commission Fumo Ricky in real life? Like, what if I just had a Fumo Ricky? How cool would that be? Find someone who makes Fumo style plushies and commission this in particular. How wonderful that would be. All right, let's do something different. We're going fishing. Hell yeah! Thank you for the raid, Val Platinum. But tonight we are we're playing through Touhou therapy games and talking about mindfulness, and also the appeal of plushies. That's about it. All right, let's go fishing with Sakuya. Let's do something different. The mansion has a big lake. We're going fishing. This is the most realistic therapy game I have ever played. You just go fishing and it's great. It's the perfect time to go fishing, I'd say. Do you need some help? Need help fishing? Of course. I wouldn't bring you here just to watch. Fishing is a lot like real life. This is wonderful. When you catch a bite, you will encounter some resistance. Naturally, you should fight back against the tide. Otherwise, you'll lose what you worked so hard for. Of course, sometimes it's too hard for us to hang on, so we have to let go and try again. No shame in that. Think back to something you wanted to do or tried to achieve in life. Did you encounter some hardship along the way? I bet you did. Almost everything in life worth doing is going to be hard in one way or another. Do you fight back or do you let it go? Do you try again or try to catch something else? There's no wrong decision. Any one is fine. The only wrong decision is not making one at all. Yep. Oh, looks like we got something already. Fishing minigame. This thing's really tough. I'm not sure I can do it. Is this her theme? I can't remember what Sakuya's theme actually sounds like. What Lunar Dial. At least like Lunar Dial is the one theme I always associate with her. I love fishing gear, Sakuya. This design is so good. Keep going. Keep fishing. Yeah! What is this thing? Well, thanks for your words of encouragement. I'm not sure I could have done it without you. It's a very weird spin-off. It's not all... So the premise is your character is very depressed and Sakuya comes up and tries to teach you good mental health techniques. And then earlier we played through cognitive behavioral therapy with Yuka, and Sakuya gives you advice and dabs. They're actually like... So this like from being... It's very wholesome and they're actually very good. Like I'm really caught off guard by how... Honestly, especially the first two. Like the CBT with Yuka. Yeah, I don't know why it exists. It's like, I don't know why it exists, but I'm glad that it does. The CBT with Yuka was like actually very good. And like really walked through practical suggestions and things that anyone could do. that might help them coping with anxiety and depression and all kinds of stuff. I was very happy I did it. Well, it was fun. Yes, it was. Love to go fishing with Sakuya. Does it feel nice to cheer on someone you believe in and vice versa? I definitely think so. It's always good to have even just one person supporting you. And now, what do you think of— oh gosh. I'm not so sure about that. It's only natural to be unsure about these kinds of things, but I assure you, if I were to cook it, it would probably be one of the best things you've ever tasted in your entire life. That said, this is a most unusual frog. My mistress has an affinity for these kinds of interesting creatures. Did you know she even has a pet chupacabra? What? Is that canon? Does Remilia have a pet chupacabra? I'll show it to her first and let her decide what she wants to do with it. This is canon? Alright, thank you, Izzy. I'm glad that you're here to coach me on the Touhou canon. It's been a long time since I played. The last Touhou game I played was Imperishable Night. Yeah, this absolutely is. This is a Namekian frog. I was wondering, where have I seen this before? It's a Namekian thing. The chupacabra. Alright, let's see. I got it. His name shall be Henry! Henry! Aw. That's a nice name. Oh god. What? Oh no, there's too many options. I think I'll name our kid Henry. It's the perfect name. It's a great name. The mistress will love that name. I couldn't have come up with a better name. It's a lovely— I'm gonna name our kid Henry. Hee hee! I can't remember the last time I was in one of these. Oh. Now we're going swimming. Alright, when are we gonna get back into therapy? I'd rather just dive in. Do you enjoy swimming? The pool might be a little small. 6 feet away because we're not gay. Well, either way. It's Patchouli's fucking kiddie pool. It's important to try new things, to discover new things about yourself through these activities. For example, let's take what we did just now. We're swimming. Did you enjoy it? Was it fun? Were you good at it? What aspects of it did you like or dislike? Obviously, you don't have to write an essay every time you try something new, but simply just trying something new, especially if it's out of your comfort zone, and doing some simple reflecting on such matters can be highly beneficial to yourself in the long run. Wait, canonically there's a pool party at the Scarlet Devil Mansion? This is the kiddie pool! You may find some new passions or hobbies which can ultimately be a source of happiness for you. As you may know, some people speculate, and I may have been a great vampire hunter in a past life, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Oh! We're less than 6 feet away. What? Speaking of swimming, are you aware that drowning is one of the worst ways to die? Alright, this game is going in places. Huh? Well, that went in directions. Oh, I didn't get murdered. Yeah. I just wanted— that's not fun, lady. You have a weird idea of fun. Well, that's just one thing about me. Yeah, that's definitely not helping my anxiety there. There's a million other things, well, I hope there's a million other things you do like about me otherwise. Still though, I would like to make it up to you for your troubles, but today is my last day here, and I have to go now. Some troublemaker who supposedly came from heaven is causing quite a ruckus in Gensoko. I want to go investigate it, I'm sure you understand. My mistress will be here, though. She's very interested in meeting you for your last few days here. I hope she behaves herself around you. She can be quite a handful. But thank you for being here with me. I had a really good time, and I hope to see you again sometime. I know it was hard for you before you came here, so I hope these past few days with me have helped you, even for just a little bit. No, thank you. I'm glad you have helped. I needed this too. Take care of yourself. Yeah, that was positive. All right, let's play the DLC. Let's see. Wait, how do I get back to the menu? Back to the title screen. Or do I have to reload the game to get to the DLC? I might have to go... Alright, I'm gonna reload the game. Like, it was messed up. It was definitely, like, not helping my anxiety. Breath control plays fucking... Ice Veer, did you get red? Did you get red that hard? Alright, let's see. I know I had an option earlier. It's just in your database. I could have sworn I had an option earlier to play this. Let's see. Maybe... Let's see what I have to do here. Sorry, I'm trying to also navigate how to get these DLCs to work. So I could have sworn... Yeah? I do have the Save Me Sakuya-san Remilia's Coin and Glass game. It is the professional, CBT professional. Like, I'm actually not a CBT professional. I'm not a therapist. I'm a researcher. But I am a whiskey bottle VTuber. I know, I've heard the song before somewhere and I can't quite name it. Oh, come on. Why is this in Latin? Oh no. I've been malortified. Why do I have Blahai? Alright. You know what, I'm gonna get rid of Blahai. Yeah, I guess I still have Blahai from the last time I was malortified. Yeah, I could have sworn that there was a thing here to play the DLC. Empty slave slot. All right, I'm gonna try to do the same thing again. Maybe that'll work. I'm gonna uninstall and then reinstall, and in the meantime, I'll find something to do to be entertaining. Give me 1 second, because this is the power of iOS. I can download this in a couple seconds. Love to live in an area where fiber internet is available. And typically it takes me less time to actually download that than anything else. All right, let's Oh.
Friendly, it will be. Is here.
Well, I mean, I'm currently a liquor bottle, so it's probably pretty friendly. Although I don't know how I'm supposed to eat with no hands. Thank you. Thank you. I haven't taken her out yet. She did fart on me. Yeah. Alright, here it is. Okay, I got it. I had to reinstall it, but it gave me a prompt to play the DLC. I mean, it was definitely a turn, but it was a interesting and powerful turn. Oh, Dean, I got a dinner. Julie made me a whole ass dinner. I got like she made a flatbread with apples and brie and chickpeas and some couscous and chickpeas. Yeah, that's great. Skip the intro. No. It is. It smells wonderful. Yep. So we finished Sakuya-san, and now we're on to the DLC where Sakuya leaves to go do Touhou things. And now you have to hang out with Remilia. Yeah, some troublemaker who supposedly came from heaven came down and decided to make a ruckus. So you gotta go investigate it. She gotta go investigate it, and you get to hang out with Remilia. Her mistress will be here soon, though, and that's very interesting. She's very interested in meeting you. So I hope she behaves herself, because she can be quite a handful. Yeah. I did promise to take care of myself. Oh, don't be sad! It's unfair how good Remilia's theme is. Septet of the Dead Princess, in any instrumentation, in every mix that I have ever heard, is such a banger. I will fade away in the sunlight. Patchouli is more of a stationary person, and we need Mei Ling to guard the gates, even if she's not very good at it. Hong Mei Ling, never actually very good at her job. Make maybe the least effective guard that has exists in a world of very ineffective guards. Sure, we can always leave it up to the Shrine Maiden, but from time to time, we have to make sure there's nothing that threatens the Scarlet Devil Mansion. But there's nothing to worry about. She'll come back shortly without a hitch. But hey, I know how it is. Throughout this journey, you have gotten particularly close to her. So, why did she decide to help you? I wonder what she sees in you. You don't look any different from a normal human. Do you have any powers I'm not aware of? Maybe you're one of those deities that grants people blessings like wealth and power if they help you. No? Huh. You're just an ordinary person then. Fascinating. We here at the Scarlet Devil Mansion have been speculating all kinds of things on what kind of person you are. Imagine my surprise when I finally get to meet you and you're just a normal, ordinary human. Not that I don't mind. Here in Gensoko, normal people, or even outsiders, are interesting ones, at least from my view. I've seen gods, demigods, yokai, fairies, and magicians that I can count. So your kind is more than welcome here. Basically, you're boring, and that's cool because we're tired of all these fancy folks. And because you're an ordinary human, you feel all the things that an ordinary human would feel. You fear things, you get sad. You laugh and you cry, and you dance at the song that we call life. Being things as myself, we don't appreciate the small stuff that you do sometimes. Oh, this is gonna be about mindfulness, isn't it? It's gonna be about appreciating normal things. But I guess that's what happens when you live as long as we do. Anyways, I didn't come just to say hello and wish you well. Let's play a little game. Haven't you ever wanted to be more than just a mere human? Maybe I can't change you into an all-powerful vampire or yokai, but I do have the power to change one's fate. I can make you a popular virtual YouTuber influencer. You're entirely unremarkable? That's pretty pog. I can grant you whatever wish. 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers. Wealth, power, love, fame. It's all yours if you beat me in this simple game. I am bored after all, and with Sakuya gone, I could use some extra company. Beat me, and I will give you whatever I want. Remilia is behind all the big follows. If you just click this link, fame, followers, fortune can all be yours. What if Remilia is the person who stole the apes? She stole the apes. All my apes gone. I will take you in as my personal blood-sucking slave. I'll drink from you just enough to not kill you, but also enough to weaken you severely, and at least until Sakuya comes back. So what do you say? That sounds pretty fair to me. Alright, now I'm the one being targeted. I mean, oh god, oh no, wait, what? I mean, no, that doesn't sound good at all. Why would you do that? Alright, I was just being nice by asking you. This isn't optional. Oh god, take a seat, I'll explain what you need to know. Is this a Kagi? Are we gonna play Washiju Mahjong? Alright, let's get started. Do you want me to explain it to you, or do you want me to learn and figure out as you play? Please explain it to me. You see this glass? It's filled to the brim with something. Normally, even the slightest bump can cause it to spill over. However, because of the way surface tension works, we can put in a few coins. This is the JoJo's plot. This is the JoJo's plot. All right. How does surface tension work? Exactly, you say? Well, it doesn't matter. Point is, this glass can hold quite a few coins as long as you're careful when you're putting them in. Of course, there's a limit to how many coins it can hold. No matter how careful you are, once this glass reaches, by my estimate, about 14 coins, it's going to spill over no matter what you do. Therefore, once there's enough coins inside the glass, we'll stop playing and do a tally. You can choose to put in more than one coin to score more points and end the game faster. However, whoever ends up putting in the most coins is the winner. Of course, the more coins you pour in, the harder it is not to spill it over. Whoever spills the drink is the loser, and the other person wins as a result. Timing and precision is everything. If you're off by even a little bit, the drink will spill over, and you'll be my next snack. Now, on to more technical things. When it's your turn to put the coin in, you'll see a bar on the right with 2 needles. The needles will move left and right at a fairly fast speed, or even faster if you choose to put in more coins, which you should. You need to press the Z button. This is a coin drop game. I came here for therapy, and you're making me play coin drop game. You need to press the Z button just when the needles are aligned in order to secure points without spilling the glass. All right, 90% accuracy rate. All right. But don't worry about me. I'll be perfect every time. The bar on the top left will indicate how many coins have fallen into the glass before it's full. When it's full, we'll do a count of how many coins we put in and how many rounds we played. Why is this happening to me? All right, let's begin. I'm gonna put in 4 coins. Oh God. All right, nailed it. She puts in 1 coin. I'm gonna put in 3 coins. Nailed it. 3 coins, huh? Perfect every time. So I already have 7 coins in. So if I put in 1 coin, I should be fine. All right. 1 coin, huh? Got it. I beat the vampire at the coin game. This is what I get. This is the reward for reading JoJo's Part 3. All right, time to tell you the score. I got 9, and yeah, you got 5 in 7 rounds. Oh, I died. I guess to do it in less than 5 turns. Oh, this is gonna be hard. I basically have to put in 4 coins every time. This is definitely not the game I was expecting, but I'm enjoying it. All right, it's your turn. I'm going in for 4 coins. All right. 3 coins. Only 1 coin, that's all I can put in. Alright, wait, I got 9 to your 5 in 5 rounds. I did do it in 5 turns or less. I'm so good at this game! I beat the vampire at the goofy game and the thing that I thought was going to be about coaching me on how to cure my depression. Now you have to tell me how to cure my depression. I haven't had this much fun since I was the villain of the story. Well, a deal is a deal. Close your eyes. Now think about what you want the most. What is it that you truly desire? What needs to happen in order to make you happy? When you decided what you want, open your eyes. Aw, it's a hug. It's a hug. It's actually kind of cute. Her fate-changing ability is just a hug. The real magic is confidence. Oh. I died. Back in your home, a postcard has been placed on your desk. It looks out of this world, quite literally. But there's a note written on it, in beautiful cursive handwriting. Thankfully, you know how to read cursive. That's not true. I do not know how to read cursive anymore. Hello, human. I got your wish granted for you. Consider your fate changed. Of course, there's a few things you should know. First, you have to put in a little bit of effort for your fate to change into something that you desired for. It won't just fall into your lap. But if you really want to put your mind to it, it'll happen eventually. I guarantee it. So go on ahead and work towards your making your dreams come true. And Sakuya is about wrapping up that incident, so feel free to come visit us anytime. You're kind of like family here. Consider yourself part of the Scarlet Devil Mansion now. Don't sweat the details. You'll just happen to find us again if you desire to. Simply put this postcard under your bed. When you go to sleep, your soul will be transported to Gensoko. In the meantime, take care of yourself, and I hope to see you again, human. Till next time. You take a deep breath and place the postcard under your pillow, and you go to sleep. And that's the end of the game. Yeah, the real hustle is, in 3rd grade, all of my teachers told me, look, everyone is going to use cursive when you're an adult. You have to learn how to read and write in cursive. Everyone signs their checks in cursive. Everyone does everything in cursive. Turns out that was a lie. No one uses cursive. No one can even read cursive in my age group now. What? Well, that knocks out that one. So I've gone through all of the sorry, now I'm trying to discreetly eat. All right, get through all the Touhou games. Well, here's another game from the maker of Sakuya-san Gives You Advice and Dabs and CBT with Yuka. I guess I occasionally sign, but my cursive is so terrible that I always just end up doing it. That I always end up just like scribbling my name. And even when I changed my name, I didn't change my signature at all because it was illegible to begin with. That's the real life hack. If no one can read your name in your cursive signature, you don't have to change it when you change your name. You just scribble. All right. Well, again, not a Touhou game, but it is Touhou adjacent because it's made by the same person that made the first 2 games. So let's get into Dab on Darkness. You can tell that it's all made by the same person because they use the same art assets. Man, my wife is excellent. Like, she smashed up some brie cheese onto a flatbread and then put on some onions and apple with a little bit of chickpeas for protein and then delivered that to me while I was streaming? Just incredibly lucky. Alright. Time to dab on darkness. It's hot fire. I hope your girlfriend's well. Oh, pancreatitis. I hope she's fine. That can be serious. Alright. Let's see. What is the premise of this game? Dab on Darkness. I bought this on a recommendation. So we'll, like, basically like any of these games. So let's see what happens here. So, you wake up. You had a good dream. You feel good. You're sitting down to relax. And then you could work on this thing that you're meaning to. Well, hold it right there. Huh? Is that a smell of positivity? You're supposed to be depressed and in bed until noon. You're also definitely not supposed to have a positive outlook on today. Oh no. Is this the game where I see what the premise is? Your inner negativity is an anime girl. Well, yeah, oh, I know her. I've seen her before. Let's see, I need to get comfy for this one. Let's, let me get one of my gamer chairs. Let's get the gay gamer chair. Alright, there we go. Fumo Gaming. Fumo Gaming can now begin. Yeah! There we go. What's wrong with you humans? It seems like you're just destined to be miserable for your entire life. But one small positive thing happens, and all of a sudden life isn't so bad for you anymore. We can't have that now, can we? I can barely stand up. Who are you? And of course, my name is Card Sens. Let's see. I am the physical manifestation of the darkness inside you, so I need to dab on darkness. Ah, I see. And so you know by now, I'm extremely powerful, all thanks to you. But alas, you just had to go thinking that you were going to have a good day today. You know, this is some Kingdom Hearts stuff. This is, can you just figure out how to unravel your internal negative feelings, even if they are a hot anime demon girl? No. I'm gonna be positive. No way. I had a sweet dream where Sakuya-san told me how to take care of myself. I have the power now. You can't fix her, Aaron. She's going to make you worse. That's her entire character arc. She wants to make you worse. Ah, so she's gonna try to make me like, huh. Of course, I can't physically hurt you, but I can convince you that you're simply just not worth it. There's a lot of work with you here, so let's see, where should I start with? Oh, I know, how about this? You'll never accomplish anything decent. You peaked in your life years ago, and it really doesn't get better than this. You were a gifted kid, and you're never going to be better than you were in 4th grade. Look at you. Most of the time it takes you a while to even do anything remotely productive. You're going to be trapped here forever in an endless cycle, so why even try? You're exactly the person you never wanted to— ooh, boy. Ooh. Fumo was being targeted. No, it's not about being productive. Just because I'm not working on the next greatest thing in my life doesn't mean that I'm not worth it. As long as I'm happy with where my life is going, then nothing else matters. I don't need to work 12 hours a day like a guinea pig for the sake of being productive. And I don't need to fit in your definition of productivity. I just have to be happy with who I am. Oh wow. Not many people can fight against their internal feelings like this, and usually they just try to block it out or suppress their feelings and pretend everything is fine. But it seems pretty stupid that you physically manifest yourself like that on top of telling me all this. I just love to hear myself talk. Speaking of that, there's still plenty of subject matter to go with, so time for round 2. You did a lot of embarrassing things when you were younger, like a lot of embarrassing things. Do you remember your Zanga? Do you remember what you wrote on Zanga back in sophomore year of high school? I do. I'll never let you forget. It doesn't matter how hard you try, you can never take it back. You're always going to be that person. You were cringe. You posted cringe. Zanga was a similar website to like a live journal. If you ask me what a live journal is though, I will turn to dust. You know, see, the real trick is, and I'm hoping this will come up, be cringe. Just be cringe. What have we learned from all these games? It doesn't matter what other people think about what you're doing if you're happy, and if it's making you happy and you're not hurting anybody. It doesn't matter. So just be cringe. It doesn't matter if other people think you are. Be more openly cringe. Enjoy the things that you enjoy. That's the important part in life. So you still think of these shameful moments. I bet they keep you up at night, since you can't help but remember them. Before you sleep, you think about all the times that you were cringe. And when you take a shower, you think about being cringe. When you play video games and the loading screen causes a black screen which reflects on your face, you think of those moments where you were cringe. That one's real. When you hit a loading screen and you see yourself reflected and you're very tired, oh boy. When you get the courage to try to do anything outside of your comfort zone, you're going to think about those moments. And those people will forever define these people will forever define you by your actions back then. Believe me, you're better off this way, staying in your room as much as you can. You'll save yourself the trouble of embarrassing yourself again, and other people won't have to be reminded of all your past failures. I don't care what other people think. I am proudly cringe. Look, I'm a virtual YouTuber Fumo. That's pretty great. I don't care if somebody else thinks that I'm goofy. Other people don't matter. Well, they do matter, but like, their opinions of my hobbies and enjoyment do not. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm not even just a Fumo. I have a point redeem that turns me into a barrel. I have a point redeem that turns me into Malort. So people who linger around the past don't matter. The people dislike me for any mistake I've made in the past, that's their problem, not mine. You don't have to care about what they have to say. Only those who are willing to see me for who I am really matter. Yeah, it's Hazel playing. Hazel has a new toy. She's murdering it. Hazel. It's like the best toy she's ever had. It's this pink elephant, and the ears are crinkle paper, and then it has a bunch, like, it has like, what, 4 squeakers she's torn out already? She loves it. She refused to go out last night. So for those who don't know, Hazel is my dog. Let's see. You can get a photorealistic image of her if you, let's see. Where is Hazel Gets Pets? There we go. So, Grandma, aka my partner's mom, sent a bag of treats in this toy, and she loves it so much she wouldn't leave it to go outside and pee last night. So I decided I'll be smart. So I took the toy from her and I went outside with it into the backyard, thinking obviously she'll follow me and then she'll go pee. No, she just took it out of my hand and then walked back inside and kept playing with it. This dog. God, I love her. It's so funny because she'll play with it and she'll tear it apart, and then she just drops it and falls asleep on it like it's a pillow. It's so cute. It's the most adorable thing. I don't have my second webcam set up and she just left, but like I should have. I'll try to set up Hazel Cam in the future. Yeah, we don't deserve dogs, definitely. She brings so much joy to my life. Anyway, speaking of bringing joy to my life, we need to dab on darkness. I just have to keep moving forward, and those who are with me along every step of the way towards that are the ones that I should be sticking around with. The people that are judging me for being cringe suck, and their opinions are irrelevant. And even if I have to do it alone, that's fine too. There's no point in avoiding new things just because I'm afraid of what other people might think of me. This is very real. There have been many points in my life where I've been afraid of what other people would think of me, so I didn't try. Especially things like, I'm going to talk about this when I stream art. That the fear of being a beginner or being looked at as not being good at something kept me from trying a lot of things. And I'm really bummed that I did that. The only person that I have to live for is myself, and not anybody else. But in terms of the thoughts I get, I just have to accept them. We're applying cognitive behavioral therapy. Hazel, are you happy? She came back. They're only thoughts just passing by. It's like water flowing on a stream. And the more I try to push it back, the stronger it will grow. I just have to let it go and move along with my day. It's just a thought, not an impulse. It doesn't have any value to it unless I give it value. True. As long as I let it pass by me, it can't harm me. So let's see. So you're saying you're just going to ignore the dark thoughts. I'm not going to ignore you. Go ahead and barrage me with whatever thoughts you are. Sorry, my dog is distracting me right now. She's being very cute. All right. In fact, all right, this is important. All right, I'm gonna do something forbidden here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show Hazel. Hazel's been revealed, like multiple times. Let's see if this works. Look at her. Look at her. Hazel. Hazel. Look at this dog. Look at her elephant. Look at her Russ. Look at her. Oh. Alright, back to dabbing on darkness. Like, I gotta dab on darkness for Hazel's sake. And also relaunch VTube Studio, because I can't use the camera for multiple things. Love you too. Relaunching VTube Studio. Relaunching VTube Studio. Oh no! And get tracking to work again. Recalibrate. This is how you know I'm a professional streamer. I turn off the VTuber, show you all my dog, and then break my entire stream setup to do it. Look, I love what I do. Like, this is art. This is avant-garde art. Showing the dog is absolutely worth it. Except I really did break VTube Studio. It's not tracking anymore. Please wait warmly while I try to get this working again. I may have made a terrible mistake. Wait, are we tracking? Okay, we're tracking again. I'm working. All right, be gone, Waffle. I paid for it. Be gone, Watermark. All right, back to dabbing on darkness. All right, so to recap. My inner negativity is a hot anime girl, and I have to tell her that I've learned how to do cognitive behavioral therapy from Touhou characters, and now I am strong enough to stand up to her and not be bullied. So you think you could just accept what a miserable pile of garbage you are? You're a loser. No one likes you. Your friends only pretend to deal with you. You don't deserve to even be sad. Other people have it way worse than you, you know. Hey, we learned how to argue against that one. Just accept those. Allow those thoughts. What the actual... just like that? Are you seriously going to accept what I have to say? Yeah. You're extremely sensitive and weak. You don't like confrontation. You hate yourself. And all those things can be true. But that doesn't make you a bad person. You keep embarrassing yourself. You're dumb. You're stupid. You're lazy. And you know what? This is the mindfulness. You can accept that thought, and you can allow that thought. You gosh darn freaking action. No. There's one more thing to show her. I'm gonna do something even better. What is it? You begin to flex your arms a bit and stretch out. This is it. I'm gonna dab on darkness. No, don't do it. Don't do anything but that. You move your left elbow as close to your face as possible. No! Stop! I just wanted to be with you. I don't want it to end like this. Oh, wait. You stretch your right arm as far as and wide as possible away from your face. You have completed the fattest, meanest dab you have ever done in your entire life. Ah! Don't dab on me! Wait, can Fumo dab? Fumo might actually be able to kind of dab. Wait. Fumo dab. Well, you got good ending number 1. You successfully faced your darkness through accepting and allowing it instead of trying to fight it or block it out. I disintegrated my inner darkness by dabbing. Let's give it one more read. I'm curious about... Let's see. What if I try to choose something else? So this time, I chose, it doesn't matter what you think of me. I couldn't care less about what you think of me. You're part of me, but your statements have zero value to me, because you have nothing to value to contribute other than leeching off of my happiness. And as long as I at least try to believe it, it'll be okay. Huh, I didn't expect that. Not many people fight against their internal feelings like this. Usually, try to block out or suppress their feelings. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate it. And then they pretend everything is fine, but it seems that, it seems pretty stupid that you physically manifest yourself like that on top of telling me all this. Yeah, this got through. Alright. Past isn't important. Mistakes that I might have done differently, and if I were to do them again, but hey, I'm right here, and I turned out relatively okay. So this is an interesting perspective that I never really thought about. I encountered this in the wild recently. Like, I volunteer with a support group, and I try to help run sessions, and someone brought this to the table about how they had tried to process their past by being grateful for the things that had happened, and that had brought them to the position that they were in. And it really blew my mind, because I usually am kind of, when I think about unfortunate things in my past or anything like that, my perspective is more like, well, that sucks, but it happened, I guess. Or like, it made me tougher or something. I never really thought about trying to apply that perspective of, I can be grateful for the things that happened, and I can accept that they were painful, but I can try to also find things to appreciate in there, and not just like having to be dismissive. I can allow myself to feel that. So this is kind of what it is. Hey, things happen in the past, and that's like, it's a tool that I hadn't thought about in accepting my past, of trying to be grateful. Even for things that might have been painful at the time. It's a thing that I struggle to be grateful for things that happened. And you don't have to define yourself by your past mistakes. You can move on from them. And if anything, it's good to make mistakes. Recognizing that learns that you learn from them, and you grew as a person. We learned that from Nitori. There's no point in avoiding new things in life just because you might mess up. I won't let fear prevent me from being the person that I want to be. What are the better thoughts? I can take up healthy activities, I can watch anime, play video games, go for a run, anything to keep my mind busy, to keep myself from getting depressed. And there are healthy outlets that are fun and help me de-stress, and that's valuable in itself. As long as you have a clear, positive value on my life, I don't need to worry about what other people think about it, because I enjoy it, and I benefit from it. You won't be enjoying those activities when you're attacked with non-stop events from the past. No. Not even gonna engage. You load up your favorite online competitive multiplayer game. You load up Apex Legends. You find a match quickly, and just as you select your character, card begins to launch a surprise attack. Remember that time you told a joke and no one laughed? Yeah, but that happened. As you select your character, card strikes again. Remember that time you were too scared to ask your crush out? Boy, how stupid you felt back then. I bet you feel stupid right now. Well, that's the thing that happened. You're one thing I should... And as you focus on your game, despite your best efforts, you end up losing the match. No matter how hard you try, you can't win. Just like that, you studied on a test and you still got a bad score. Yeah, it was a hard test. This is good. I can tell this is from the same person. Also, shoutouts to oh wait, I need to move myself. Shoutouts to dabbing maids in the corner. Love in-universe references. Fight me. I've always been waiting for this. No, I'm gonna do something even better. Oh, wait! I'm gonna hug my darkness. You move your left... Oh, no, it's the dab. You do the dab, you dab on her, and she disappears. I'm in control of my own destiny, not other people, and not society. Is there... I wonder if there's a bad ending. I'm curious. I'm gonna skip through the old stuff, but like... What if I give in to the darkness? What happens? Dabbing Maids is absolutely a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. That's what how I feel whenever House Dragon Maid wins me the game. It's like, bam, did a dab on them. You think Izayoi is potentially even the most powerful dabbing maid? Because she's on the moon, so she can dab on all of us at once. She can dab on every person on Earth in one motion. I can't imagine having that kind of power. You say that now. Being happy when you're this miserable takes effort. This is actually interesting. So I picked the I wanna die option thinking it would be like a bad end, but instead it's a really real account of the difficulty in being happy. It takes effort. It's a process. It's not like a mindset, or you don't flip a switch. You don't, watch a streamer and then suddenly be like, ah, my depression is cured. It's something you have to work on, and it's hard. Oh no. Yes, it is harder than picking a choice in a visual novel. I'm assuming that's a bad end? You're swallowed by your inner darkness and hope for a normal life looks extremely bleak, but it's not too late. The voice, hey, I know it's really hard to want to get better. I can't speak for how you feel, and I'm not here to judge you, but maybe one day it'll start to hurt less. And maybe one day it'll start to get better. And maybe one day you'll be glad you stuck around to be alive in the moment. And maybe there's hope. Perhaps there's underlying issues that make you want to die. Perhaps there's nothing that can be done to fix it, but rather there's something to make it hurt less. Perhaps neither applies, and all are perfectly valid. But whenever you're ready, you're always free to seek the right resources for your situation. That's all I got to say right now. What you do next is in your hands. That was nice. Let's see. So if I go through and I click no way, so I'm assuming... What happens if I say she has a point? Crippled by anxiety, you spend the rest of your life dissatisfied with yourself and afraid to try going out of your comfort zone. You could never achieve the things you really wanted to do in life. There's a lot of bad endings to this game. Sometimes, doing things you're scared of is exactly what you need to realize that things are never as bad as what your mind makes them out to be. It's also important not to fall for the mindset that you have to complete something in X amount of time or you're a failure. This is very real. And not even amount of time. It's, I mean, let's apply this to streamers. Like, you can't let yourself fall into the mindset that, like, if you don't complete something in an amount of time, or if you don't have a certain number of viewers, or you don't hit certain metrics, that you're a failure. You can just do whatever works for you. And worrying about what other people say and their expectations they put on you isn't important. Other people live their lives, and you just gotta live yours. So it's good to start to identify what's stopping you from accomplishing what you want to do and tackling them through the best means available to you, either with therapy, talking to friends, relaxing, engaging with your hobbies. And finally, remember that the only person you have to amount to is the person that's happy with Remember, the only person you have to amount to is a person that's happy with yourself. And what you do next is in your hands. Yeah. I mean, that's how it feels sometimes. Like, failure is a complicated experience. Like, I've been having a rough time lately, personally. Let's go through and get another bad end. And see, but I kind of like you said, Aaron, I like that they actually take all of these and really do a good, like, they take these bad ends seriously. Like, if you have these rough options, you have that internal voice that says, hey, you know what? It sucks, and it's hard, and maybe you're here right now, but maybe you won't be in the future. Yeah, I'm glad you get it. If you can't make a name for yourself, then you're a nobody. And considering how other people already hate you and mock you, there's no hope for you. Even if they don't say it to your face, they're already thinking of you as a loser. Or once they actually see you trying to do anything, they're gonna realize, like I said, I'm doing you and society a favor by keeping you in check like this. Yeah, this one is absolutely coming for me. This one's really real. Yeah, if you don't have certain outcomes, or if you don't meet certain goals, if you don't make a name for yourself, then you're a nobody. It doesn't matter what you do. Always self-conscious about others might think or say about you, you become afraid of doing the things you wanted to accomplish and could never truly find peace with yourself. But there's still hope. I know it can be hard to understand the meaning of our lives. We long for a purpose and to be needed by other people. Yeah, this is hitting me very deeply. Maybe I'll talk about it for a little bit afterwards, but it seems like we're not needed in society, that the world functions and moves on regardless of whether or not we're there. And if we don't make a name for ourselves, we might as well not exist, right? It's true. There may very well be a time where the last person who ever knew us will be gone, and our names will fade away forever. But that doesn't have to matter. It's okay not to lead a life that will be remembered in the history books. It's okay just to be happy with how you live. You don't need to be part of something greater or leave a legacy behind. It's okay to lead a simple life. As long as you're content and satisfied with the way things are, why change that? Let go of the expectations of society and your peers and think about what would truly make you happy, and work towards that. One of the biggest regrets people have on their deathbeds is that they followed their lives other people expected for them, and not their own. If you're free to struggle, and not struggling to be free, then you always have a choice. Make the right one for yourself, and not for other people. Alright, they have one more bad ending. No way. Doesn't matter what other people think of me. Who cares what other people think? So what happens if you fight your thoughts? Anytime I get a negative thought, I have to do my best to block it out of my mind or counter it with another thought. Oh, this is not going to work out, is it? She assaults you with a constant stream of negative thoughts and emotions, and as you try to counter the thoughts in an attempt to push it away, the negative thoughts only get stronger. Did you really think you could try to fight your own mind? Don't you understand? The more you try to fight these thoughts, the stronger they become. I'll never let you go. You're mine now. You spend the rest of your days anxious and ashamed, filled with self-loathing and doubt for yourself as intrusive thoughts plague you nonstop. Afraid of trying new things and forever crippled with internal strife, you never become truly satisfied and content with your life. But you can still make things right. Listen, the more you try to block out or deny or fight your intrusive thoughts, the worse you're going to end up making it. Don't try to engage with those thoughts. They're just thoughts. They don't hold any meaning to them. Understand that these thoughts are entirely normal to have, and there's nothing wrong with you for having them. Accept them. Allow them to pass through your mind. Accept them and let them go freely, no matter how unpleasant they may seem. Focus on the present and continue to do anything that requires your immediate attention. Furthermore, you can imagine your anxious thoughts as a ridiculous little cartoonish thing that you shouldn't take seriously. Diminishing your anxious thoughts as a silly little entity rather than something serious or menacing can help you at ease. And that's all I got to say for now. What to do next is in your hands. I like that as well. Because, like, it's a very good... Yeah. Like, we were talking about this earlier. How it's like a trap of rumination. Because you end up getting caught in... Because it triggers something in your brain. It can release dopamine to argue with yourself and spin in circles. People can get stuck in cycles of rumination. And so if you're sitting there saying, like, I have to argue against all my negative thoughts, you end up trapping yourself in this cycle, or potentially trapping yourself in this cycle of always arguing against yourself. Because it's, in a sense, it's rewarding. Even if it's not actually helping you reach something. So, fighting against your thoughts instead of just being able to say, hey, this sucks. Hey, this is where I'm at. Being able to accept it and move on is the way to go. I'm gonna do a cringe now, but it's, there's a really good song about mindfulness in Steven Universe, actually. Is it Here Comes a Thought? I remember, I was looking for examples of mindfulness while I was teaching in an actual class. And then one of my students brought that up, and I went back and I looked at it, and I was like, damn. This is like, I'm surprised the show is like really presenting this this thing that took me so long to learn to kids as like a very normal thing. Yeah. So, the one thought I have, Cadenza, yeah, el problema es el capitalismo. Definitely. But also that, I mean, I'm the kind of person that I never really expect that my job will ever be a thing that gives me fulfillment. I will never be able to make a living doing something that I enjoy. My job is my job. It's a vehicle for being able to support myself in ways to do other stuff that I want to do. And honestly, if I was able to make something that I enjoy into my job, I probably wouldn't enjoy it much anymore. I think about that with streaming in particular. I'm like, you know, this is kind of fun. But if it was actually my job and I was actually needed to do this to support myself and my partner, I would probably learn to hate this very quickly. There's an interesting bit. This is now going to be a chatting bit. So this is like a science thing. So here's the funny bit about this. The idea of a dream job is actually a trap. When I was in grad school, I worked with, or knew, had went drinking frequently with a doctor of counseling psych, whose main way of his main research topic was vocations, dream jobs. And what he found consistently in his research was that the people that believe that there is a dream job out there for them, that's going to be like labor but feel good, also consistently ended up feeling like, well, they ended up feeling worse. Because the idea was that they would go and sell their labor in capitalism, which sucks. And then they would keep telling themselves, well, you know, there's a dream job out there for me. I just haven't found it yet. And that kept them from ever being happy with where they were. And the people that didn't believe that there was a dream job out there, or they didn't have a calling or a vocation, had a much easier time just chilling. Like, they were much happier because what they did is that they did their job, but then they would look for fulfillment in other places. So it wasn't like they were expecting to get their fulfillment from their job. They were looking to do whatever, like they were doing it like, okay, I do my job. Like, for example, my day job, I'm a data scientist, you know, and I'm very good at it. I don't like it. It's kind of alienating, actually. But it pays well, and it's pretty easy, and it gives me the ability to do stuff like, you know, I'm hoping to, now that it's getting warmer, get a motorcycle and go camping and to do all this stuff. You know, this is more fun for me. I might not be able to make a lot of money on it, I'm never going to be able to think that I really seriously entertain the idea that I could make this work as a job. But maybe there's some value in that it's not a job, and then I can approach it differently. At least that's my 2 cents. It's an interesting conundrum, because I went for a lot of my life thinking there was a dream job, and I was, and eventually I ended up in a doctoral program because I thought being a professor was going to be the dream job. And for a lot of people, it is, and they keep chasing it. And then you get deep enough into the program and you get a couple beers in, and your advisor is telling you how much she hates her job. And you realize that maybe the thing you're chasing isn't necessarily all it's cracked up to be. It's like, at the end of the day, jobs are bad. And the real problem is capitalism. There, I said the line. So, I really like these games. Like, they get to some good stuff. Yeah. The thing is, dream jobs aren't real. It's a trap. I think the key is to find something tolerable, at least for most people. Some people, they do get it. But for most people, I think the goal is find something that's tolerable and gives you the space to pursue things that you want to pursue. That's the real goal. And that's a more accessible goal. Secure the bag, do the stuff you'd rather do. At least that's my 2 cents. There's something else that came up that I wanted to talk about here. Oh yeah, the one bit about like failure and all that. I think this game, like, I was surprised at how well that handled it. So like, the game I think did a really excellent job mentioning that one section there about failure and how, like, legacy and impact. That's another thing that really brought me into grad school, was like the idea that I had to have like a legacy, I had to have an impact, and that if I'm not making things that are memorable and people are excited about, then they don't matter. But it's true. Like, some people, you can just do things that you feel good about, and if you do things you feel good about, that's gotta be enough, right? You gotta live the life that you want to live, and not the life that other people set out for you. Yeah, I like this. I think I would not have liked this had I not played the other games first, because it feels like Sakuya-san gives you advice and dabs, Nitori gives you advice and asks for cucumbers and eats them, and then this game, they feel like they really mesh well together, because they're hitting at similar themes. But this one, it feels like it's an application of the things that you picked up in the other game. So, you get these little lessons about accepting yourself and where you're at, and not placing unrealistic expectations on yourself, and then you're like, now go dab on darkness. Honestly, I think that the sections in the bad ends were probably the best part of this. Especially this one, the first one, where if you just give in right away, and it just kicks in with, hey, you're here right now, but you don't always have to be. This is very good. I actually think that I needed this. I've been kind of in my brain about impact and whether or not I make things that matter, and where what I can do to find value, and it's been really killing my ability to really enjoy anything lately. So this was actually, I think, a thing that I needed too. I'm really glad I sat down and played these games. Sakuya had to teach you to dab if you were to do this. Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, curiosity isn't the same as work. That's a big thing. So like, going and pursuing things that you want to do and finding those, that's at least like, in my personal perspective, which is heavily, fueled by Marxist theory, labor is a different thing than work. And so it helps to try to, I think, separate those in your own brain. Man, this really hit. Like, this hit in a very unexpected way. I actually feel very, like, at peace now. Definitely did not expect that, but I feel very calm. Like, I can go sit down and have some nice tea, and I'll sleep well tonight. Alright, let's see. Do I know anyone that is streaming right now? Yeah, I think, oddly enough, I needed this a lot. Without disclosing too much. Especially feeling very, very stuck. Let's see. Whom do I know? Huh. I guess Mick is streaming Smash Bros. Yeah. Go have yourself a nice tea. So, I don't know if things are going to get better, but they'll do what they'll do. So anyway, I'm gonna send y'all over to Mick, who is streaming Super Smash Brothers. But I hope you all have a good night. This has been very comfy, and I'm happy that I did this. I was considering just not streaming at all this week, but I wanted to get into these games, and I'm glad I was able to do them and talk about them with y'all. It does mean a lot to me. All right, well that's it for me. Hazel and I wish you a good night. I hope you have a relaxing time and do the thing where, like, maybe go have some tea, have some hot cocoa, do some box breathing. We learned how to do box breathing tonight. Just I guess be nice to yourselves and take care of yourselves too. That's it for me. I don't know what's on my schedule offhand, but I'll be back when I'm back. And in the meantime, I really do hope you have a good time.